Good evening, everybody. Welcome to yoga. My name is Mimi, and if this is your first time practicing with me, I'd like to just welcome you and a few words about our practice tonight and in general. If you are a beginner, hopefully this class will be fine for you. I give a lot of options for modifying things, and because we're not in a space together, I'm gonna rely on you to listen to your own body. So if we are practicing together in a studio or in a gym, I want to be able to see your body and maybe offer some words of advice and some adjustments, use of props that might make things easier or more accessible for you. But with this distance of doing things virtually, I can't do that. I can't see you. So, really, if anything that I offer doesn't feel right in your body for some reason or another, feel free to modify it. Feel free to skip it. Feel free to do something completely different. It's your practice and it needs to feel good for you. Okay? And the other thing I just want to say is tonight we're going to do a practice where we need a strap. So this is a yoga strap, official yoga strap, but you could use a scarf, you could use a belt, you could use a long piece of material, whatever you've got on hand. The one thing, if you're grabbing a scarf, especially a knit scarf, you don't want something that's too stretchy or bouncy. You want something that has a little bit of like stability to it, like a tighter weave. So I'll give folks an opportunity to grab that. Maybe grab a glass of water and have it nearby. The other thing you might want nearby is a pillow of some sort to put under your head when you're lying down, or to put underneath your butt if you're sitting. Sometimes that helps. So I'm sitting on a yoga block, an official yoga block. But again, you could modify. You could use a pillow, you could use a book, you could use a cushion off of your couch, a blanket, towel. And something that's going to lift your hips up a little bit. I find that it's a lot easier for most people to sit upright on the floor if you've got a bit of height under you. So once you've got your strap, you've got your water, you've got whatever you're going to sit on, go ahead and come to your mat. And if you don't have a yoga mat, practicing on a rug is fine. Even practicing on the floor, as long as it doesn't bother you. And you're just going to come to sit upright. And I'm seated in a cross-legged position. You might choose to sit with your legs extended or to kneel like this instead. So again, just listening to your body, choosing what feels comfortable and right for you. And we're going to come to a place of stillness. So if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, I invite you to do that right now. And we use these few minutes at the start of our class to create a little bit of separation and distance from whatever you were doing before you came onto your yoga mat, to try to stave off temptation of whatever comes next for you, whatever is going on for you after class, whether that's dinner or anything else that you're looking forward to. And to be able to turn your focus and your attention inward. So, a lot of us these days are staring at our computer in Zoom meetings or Zoom classes, and our eyes might be a little bit of blurry or dry or stinging from that, taking in so much light, so much brightness. Or closing your eyes might just feel comforting and like a relief. And closing the eyes also removes external stimulus. So closing off your vision to whatever else is going on around you in your space. And with that limiting of external sensation, hopefully you can begin to connect and see more clearly what's going on inside. And just beginning to pay attention to how you're feeling in your physical form. Noticing any places where you feel a little tight, a little tender, places that might need a little bit extra love or attention as we move through our practice today. Maybe noticing if your body feels really great this evening. So I don't want to assume only the negative. But just generally, how are you feeling in your physical form? And then noticing the level of activity in your mind. So sometimes we come to our yoga mat and we're in the zone right there, nothing distracting us, mind quiet and still. And then other times it's a lot harder to get there. So you might feel like your mind is racing or dancing all over the place. And if that's the case, hopefully, breath by breath, as we move through our practice, things will begin to slow down and become more focused in the present moment. And then go ahead and just note your level of energy this evening. Maybe with the days becoming a little bit longer, the days being a little bit warmer, you're feeling some more energy, or maybe you're feeling tired. Maybe it's just been one of those days or one of those weeks or one of those years, and you're feeling it deep down. And wherever you're at energy-wise, just taking note. No judgment, no right, no wrong, no good, no bad. Just using it as a baseline. And then pay attention to your heart. Noticing any feelings, any emotions, anything that's present with you this evening, and honoring that as well as everything else that we've talked about. So moving in accordance with what feels right in your heart tonight. And then lastly, paying attention to your breath. Noticing how the breath is showing up, whether it's showing up with ease or a bit of struggle, whether it's shallow or deep, slow or fast. And ultimately, we want to move into nice, slow, deep, rhythmic breath. You might play around with drawing the breath in through your nose, slow and long, and letting it out, slow and long through the mouth. Maybe eventually you let the breath go through the nose as well. So an inhale and an exhalation through the nose. If that doesn't happen, breathe in a way that feels comfortable. And then go ahead and just bring your hands together at heart center. You can Have the thumbs touch in at the breastbone and the head bow down. Taking just a moment here. Maybe thinking about what brought you to class tonight and what you most hope to get out of your time with me tonight. And then hold that in your heart as we open our eyes. And we'll begin with some simple movements. So we're just going to start with a variation on a prayer breath. So the hands are going to stay together. And you're going to just track them up through the center line as you inhale, reaching and looking. And then exhale and float your arms down by your side. And then inhale, float the arms up, look up. And exhale to the heart. Good. And we'll do it again. So you'll inhale and track the hands up. And exhale, float them all the way down. Maybe the chin even touches down. And then inhale, looking up as the arms float up. Exhale, hands and chin down to the heart. And we'll do it one more time. So chin lifts, hands lift. And hands lower and chin lowers. Inhale, arms and chin lift. And exhale, bringing it into the heart. Good. Take a deep breath in here. And then let it out with a sigh. Good. We're going to go ahead and come into a tabletop position. So I'm going to go ahead and come to hands and knees. And you can spread out through the palms, rest the shins on the floor, and you can practice on the tops of your feet or tuck your toes under. We're just coming to some simple cat-cows. So you'll inhale and tilt the pelvis forward, opening up through the front body. And then exhale and round, reaching up through the back body. And just go back and forth a few times. So inhaling and exhaling, opening front body and back body. Slow and steady. So moving to your own rhythm, so the rhythm of your breath. Maybe moving with eyes closed here. Good, and then taking big toes together, knees apart. Go ahead and sit your hips back towards your heels and bow your head towards the ground. And take a few breaths here. Breathing into the back body, emptying and filling right in the space behind your heart. And then come on up to a tabletop once again. Good. Then go ahead and send your right leg behind you. And if you'd like, you might reach that left arm forward. Just holding here a couple of breaths. One more moment here. Good. And then lower your palm. And you're going to keep your legs straight and bring the ball of your foot to the floor. And then just push through your heel a little bit. So opening up that back of the leg. If you've been sitting all day, maybe it feels really good. You can pulse. You can just push steadily, your choice. Good. And then you're going to take that leg and you're going to circle it out to the side. And then you're going to circle it all the way around so it lands right outside the front right-hand corner of your mat. And then you're gonna lean your hips forward. You might turn those toes out a little bit and just rock a little bit, side to side. Feeling into your hip, outer leg. A few more moments here playing. If your back knee feels tender on the ground, you can always stick your cushion underneath it or fold your mat in half for double cushion. Good. And then you're going to pull your hips back, swing that leg back again, and we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So you'll tuck your toes under and you'll lift your hips up and back. Good, and from that place, begin to pedal your feet and wobble your hips some. It's taking a little bit of time here. Good. And then lower your knees. And we'll take our child's pose again. So bringing big toes together, sitting hips back, hands bowing down. Take a few moments here. And then come on back into your tabletop. And you'll send your left leg back behind you. If you'd like, you might reach your right arm forward, holding a few breaths. And then lower your hand down, bring the ball of your foot to the floor, and push through your heel. A few moments. Good, and then take your leg and swing it all the way around and to the outside of the left-hand corner of your mat. And then you're gonna walk your hands forward, bring your hips forward, turn those toes out to relieve a little pressure on that knee, and then take some time. Wobble back and forth, roll around, so just moving in a way that feels good, nothing more to it than that. If it doesn't feel good at all, maybe it can feel interesting. Take one more breath. Good. Pull your hips back, bring that leg back. And we're going to come into our downward facing dog again. So toes tuck under, hands spread, and lift up and back. And again, there might be some wobbling of the hips, playing around, bending one knee and then the other. And then begin to walk your feet and hands towards each other. And wherever you land, just take a couple moments. Let the upper body drape down over the thighs. Letting the weight of the head help to assist in some opening of the spine. And then press into your feet, sweep your arms high and wide. And bring your hands in to heart center. Okay. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale and let it go. And we're going to open the feet a little bit wider. Toes can turn out a little bit if you'd like. You're going to keep your hands together and send your palms forward. And I'm just going to turn a little bit to the side. It might be easier to see what I'm doing. So you're going to inhale and open up. So lean back, stretch open the belly and the heart. And then as you exhale, sit your hips back and join your palms together, kind of rounding in the spine. And then inhale, open up, lean back, throat open. Exhale, squat, and bring palms together. If your knees bother you, you could simply do this work in the upper body like I'm doing now and not bend in, straighten your legs. Just opening up and then getting that rounding in the back. So still accomplishing the same thing. And then go ahead and let your last round be your last round, or your next one be your last round. And then let's bring hands in at the heart. Good. All right. We're going to sweep our arms up. And just take a little time. So reaching one side and the other. You might even pull your wrist with your hand, getting some extra length. Good. And then both arms reach up. You're going to lower your right hand to your wrist and reach up and over. And then come on up. Place your opposite hand on your wrist. Sweep your other arm up. Hands come up and over. Good, and then come on up. Relax your arms and your shoulders. Okay. Just gonna let our right ear come down to our shoulder. So just dropping your right ear towards your shoulder. And allowing your head to sink. And then you're going to take your right hand and sweep it across your head. Apply a little bit of pressure with your fingertips and begin to open that left-hand side of your neck. Good. Take your left hand, bring it shoulder length, and just push it straight out, level with your shoulder, extending through the wrist, fingers point upward. And then keeping your arm reaching through the wrist, begin to lower it down by your side. And maybe you find a place where it feels really interesting in the side of your neck and you just hang out there for a breath. And then release. Good. And we'll go in the opposite direction. So you'll just let your head fall down to the left. And then you'll take your left hand and you'll drape it across your head. And then take your right hand, reach it out like you're going stop. So the palm is pressing. And then with that extension of the palm, begin to lower your arm by your side. Pausing where it feels delightful. Take another breath. And then let your head come up. Good. We're going to do one more stretch for our neck here. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to stack them right at the center of your chest. And you're going to do a little bit of a downward pull. So your hands aren't really moving, but there's a tug to the skin in the front of the chest and the front of the throat. And keep that downward tug and tilt your head up. So you'll feel big tug to the throat. And then with your head tilting in this position, you're also going to just bring it over to the right some. And then come back to the center. Release your hands, level off your chin. Do a big sweep of the arms. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands right at the center of your heart. And you're going to stack your hands the opposite way. So opposite hand on top. Little bit of pressure, do a little bit of a downward tug and lift your chin up. And then just let your head tilt over in the opposite direction. So bringing the left ear closer to your shoulder. And then let your head come up. And we'll release, doing it one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms high and wide. And exhale to the heart. Big breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Big sigh. Okay. So you're going to come on up to the very front of your mat, one of the short ends. And we're going to bring our hands to our hips. Leave your right leg where it is. Step your left foot back. Make your feet go wide. Keep your hips squared off to the front. We're going to bend into that right knee. And if you'd like, bring your arms up. So this is warrior one pose. Take a couple moments here. One more breath. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Press into your feet. Reach up through the crown of your head. So grow tall. And then keeping both legs straight, we're going to hinge at the hips. And bring fingertips to your ankle or the floor. Release your head. Take a couple more moments here. One more breath. And then bend your right knee again and sweep your arms up. So you return to that warrior one. Hold. Good. Hands to your hips. And just step the left foot up. Nice and simple. And we'll take it to the other side. So stepping the right foot back. Let your feet go wide. Square up your hips. Bend into your left knee and sweep your arms up. Press into the outer edge of your pinky toe, your back foot. And then hands to your hips, press into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head, and bow forward. Pouring yourself down towards the floor. Fingertips can frame the foot or come to the inside of the foot or come to your ankle or shin if you can't quite reach the floor. Another moment here. And then bend your knee. Sweep your arms up along your ears. And then hands to your hips. And step your back foot forward. Good. From that place, you go ahead and just simply interlace your fingers at your chest. And then turn your palms forward and push them away from you. Reach your arms up along your ears, and you might stay here, or you might land your eyes someplace like an anchor and lift up onto the balls of your feet. And if you wiggle and wobble or fall out of it, try to just laugh and have fun with it. Take one more breath. And lower your heels. Float your arms down and let them land on your lap. Good. Push your hips back like you're sitting in a chair. And then reach your arms straight forward. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach up and lean back. Little tiny taste of a back bend. And then bring your hands into your heart and take a big breath in. And exhale and let it go. All right. We're going to grab that strap or scarf or belt, whatever it is that you're playing with tonight. So go ahead and grab it. Okay. And you're just going to have it in either hand, coming up towards the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips and step backwards with your left foot. We're going to make your feet go wide. So coming right back to where we were a moment ago, you're going to bend into your front knee. But you're going to keep your hands on your hips. Lift up through your chest, maybe feeling a hint of a back bend here. And then straighten your front leg. And then take the strap behind you. You're going to have a side of the strap in each hand. And you're going to bend your knee again. And then you're going to reach the strap down and away from you, so that you feel the tips of your shoulders wrap in towards each other. You could stay just like this, or you might begin to bow forward to the inside of your thigh. Let your head go. Take a couple breaths. Good. Lower the strap. Lift your heart and step forward. Good. And we'll do the other side. So hands to the hips. You're going to step backwards with the right foot. Have your feet go a little bit wide. Hands stay on the hips. Bend into your left knee. And just hang out here for a couple breaths. Good. And then straighten your knee. Press into your feet. Reach up through the crown of the head. All right, we're going to take the strap behind us. Have it in both hands. Bend into that left knee. Stretch your knuckles down and away. Lift the strap up off the back body. You could stay right here. Or you might begin to bow forward to the inside of your thigh. Let your head go. Good. Lower your arms down. Swing your heart up. Good. And step forward. You're going to set the strap down on the floor. You'll need it when we're back on the floor. But for now, as same as we did before, you're going to interlace your fingers right at your chest. And turn your palms forward and push them away. Bring your palms up along your ears and then rise up to the balls of your feet. Take a couple moments. Good. Lower your heels. Float your arms down and let them land right on your thighs. We're going to sit our hips back. And reach your arms forward. Holding here a couple of breaths. One more moment. Press and rise. Lift up and back. And bring hands in at your heart. Big breath in. And a big breath out. And come towards the front of your mat. And we're going to do a little just a rolling up and down. So begin to tuck your chin towards your chest. And then just roll your way down. You might bend your knees some, just letting the upper body drape over the thighs. And then press into your feet, draw your belly up, and roll yourself up. Maybe there's a little looping back of the shoulders, or the pelvis and hips might push forward. And we're just going to roll back and forth like that a few more times. Just rolling vertebra by vertebra down, and vertebra by vertebra up. Good. The next time you roll down, go ahead and bend your knees enough that you can bring your hands to the floor and walk yourself back to downward facing dog. Just beginning to work our way back to the ground. Good. Drop your knees to the floor. And walk your hands forward a little bit, so a little forward of the shoulders. And then take your shoulders right over your wrists. So you might stay right here for a plank with your knees down. Some of you might tuck your toes under and lift your knees for a full plank. So either way, we're going to hold for a few moments, knees up or down, holding. And then lower to your belly, all the way down to the floor. Good. Extend your legs behind you. Fold your hands underneath your forehead. And then bend your knees and swish your legs back and forth a few times. And then extend your legs down on the floor. Bring your forehead to the floor. Squeeze your elbows in towards your rib cage. Roll your shoulders back before anything else lifts. And then see if you can lift up through the front body, lift up through the chest, but without pushing into your hands. Hold here. So we're strengthening the back, trying to make sure you're not lifting through a push the hands, but also not by tensing the neck. Hold for another breath. Lower down, bring either cheek to the floor. And then square up your chin, roll your shoulders back, hands lift on up again. So lifting, lengthening, neck is relaxed. A few more breaths. Lower down. And we'll push to hands and knees. And then bring hips all the way back to the heels for a child's pose. Take a few breaths there. All right, I'm going to come onto our backs. And when you come onto your back, go ahead and make sure that you've got your strap nearby. All right, you don't need it quite yet. You're going to come onto your back and squeeze your knees in towards your belly. And just take a little bit of time here. Good. And then lower your feet down. Have your feet about hips width distance and the heels pretty close in towards the behind. Arms down by your side. We're going to push on up into a bridge pose. So pushing into the back of the head, pushing into the feet. Go ahead and begin to lift through the front body. Walk your shoulders towards each other. Keep pushing through the feet, extending across the front of the thighs and pelvis. And slowly release. And lower down. Good. You're going to keep your knees bent. Go ahead and bring your right knee in towards your belly. You can hold on in front of your shin. You can hold on behind your thigh. If neither of those works, you could always take your strap and hold on with your strap behind your thigh. And then just begin to circle the ankle. And point and flex. Wiggle your toes. Just taking a few moments here. Good. And then relaxing your left hand down with your right hand on your knee or behind your thigh. You're just going to circle that leg around some. And if it feels awkward to do it holding on, you can always just release and do it freestyle or free form, just circling that knee and thigh around. And then going in the other direction. Good. And then grabbing your strap. And you're going to slip it over that right foot and send your right foot straight up to the ceiling. So we're not trying to pull that leg in close to our belly. Just trying to have it extend straight up from the hip and flex your foot. So it's like your foot is flat against the ceiling or pressing up to the ceiling. Keep relaxing in the back body, relaxing through the face and the jaw. And take a few more moments. Good. Take both sides of the strap into your left hands. The right arm can relax, and you're just going to take your leg a little bit to the left. Just about 3 or 4 inches. You'll probably feel this as a big stretch or a lot of sensation on the outer edge of your leg. And you might even want to take your right hand and massage your outer leg. Massaging behind your knee, massaging along the length of the leg, the outer hip. Good, and then take the strap into your right hand. You can keep that left knee bent, foot on the floor, and just bring your legs straight out to the side. Good. And then as a counterbalance, you can begin to roll to the pinky toe side of that left foot and let your knee fall in the opposite direction. Hold for another couple breaths. Good. Inhale the legs straight up towards the ceiling. We're taking the strap into the left hand and letting the right arm go wide. And I keep the left leg bent in this version. And we're just going to go ahead and let the left knee fall down and let the right leg come all the way across and over to the left. Good. Keep spinning the upper body open to the right. Take a few more moments here. Another breath. Good. Inhale. Let your leg come straight up towards the ceiling again. And then slip off your strap. Keep your foot flex. You're reaching for your heel. And very, very, very slowly float your leg all the way to the floor. And then extend through your left leg and just let both legs rest side by side. Taking a few moments here. All right. Go ahead and hug your knees in towards your belly. Rocking side to side, so back of the pelvis getting a little bit of a massage. And then lower the right foot down. Hold on to the left shin, thigh, use a strap, whatever's going to help you to squeeze that knee towards your belly. And then rotate your foot in circles. Point and flex, wiggle your toes, whatever feels good. And then relax your right arm by the side. Take your left hand and steer your knee around in circles. And steer around in the other direction. Good. And then take your strap. I'm going to slip it underneath your foot and send your foot up towards the ceiling. And just flatten out your foot. Push up through your heel and drop into the back body. And then take both sides of the strap into your right hand. And just bring your leg about 3 or 4 inches. It doesn't take much before you begin to feel that outer edge of the left leg begin to talk to you. And then you can take your hands and maybe you massage back of the leg, outer hip. Digging the fingers in along the places where you feel sensation acutely. And then taking your strap into your left hand. And you're going to begin to open your leg out to the left. Let your right knee fall out to the right. And then bring both legs back upright. I'm going to switch the strap to your right hand. Let your left arm come out like a T. And then you're just going to roll over to the right. So you take that leg across, right knee falls to the floor, and you keep working on rotating the upper body in the opposite direction. One more breath. Bring your leg back up towards the ceiling. Slip the strap off and float the leg all the way to the floor. And you can let the other leg relax next to it. Again, for just a couple breaths, we've got a little bit more work. If you're done, you could always stay here and let this be your Shavasana or your period of rest before the official end of class. All right, if you want to move on and just do this final twist, you'll shimmy yourself a little bit to the right. Bring your knees in towards your belly, and then open your arms wide and let both legs fall over to the left. And again, you are spinning the upper body in the opposite direction. And taking the left hand on top of the right thigh for some support. And then release, and keeping feet off the floor, come through the center, and then drop your knees down and over to the left. Right, the right. Upper body spins to the left. Few moments here. Good, come onto your back. Squeeze your knees in. And then lower your feet down. You can keep your knees bent if that's more comfortable on your lower back. Or you might slide your legs long. We're coming to rest in Shavasana. Just a couple of minutes here. This is a place where that pillow underneath your head might feel good. We're just taking a minute or two of stillness and quiet to allow the body to digest and incorporate all that you've given it in the past hour. Allow your breath to become soft and easy, flowing in and out. Letting go completely so that you rest heavily on the floor. And then as you're ready, just begin to deepen your breath. And then while staying on your back, you can just stretch arms to the floor overhead. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. Maybe you let out a big sigh or yawn. And then you'll begin to bring yourself up to a seat. Coming eventually to an upright position, make sure you're comfortable. And then join palms together at your heart, maybe bowing your chin towards your fingertips. Just taking a moment to offer a sense of gratitude to yourself for carving out this hour to take care of yourself. And then I'll close with a deep bow of gratitude to everyone that's joined me tonight, and to Thunder Mist, and this opportunity to come in community and do something really good. So thank you for joining me for this practice. If you like it, you can do it as many times as you'd like. It'll be up on the Thunder Mist Facebook page, Thunderwell Facebook page, and if you'd like to come to yoga again, it's the second and the fourth Wednesday of every month. Have a great rest of your evening.